This is the plaintiff, Amanda Welch. She says the defendant is her neighbor and friend and sent her money on PayPal. She sent him the money back through PayPal immediately. Then PayPal took the money out of her account, claiming it was a fraudulent transaction. She doesn't know why the defendant would do her this way, but neighbor or no, she's suing him for the $497 he basically stole from her. This is the defendant, Ryan Snell. He says he gets paid on a PayPal account and it usually takes 48 hours before his money clears. So he asked the plaintiff to send the money back, and she did. Then his iPad got stolen. The thieves got into his PayPal account and wiped him out. He's accused of doing a friend all wrong.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket, the plaintiff says that she did a favor for a friend and he royally screwed her. But the defendant says both of them got scammed, so he owes nothing. It's the case of, I got scammed, now you're in a jam.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Ms. Welch, Mr. Snell is your neighbor, correct?
Yes.
And the two of you were friends, and at some point in time, Mr. Snell had a fabulous idea. And what was that idea?
He actually had asked me if he could send me money and then I could send it back to him on his PayPal, which in turn I did.
Why?
Honestly, I'm not sure because I don't use PayPal.
So why would you do it?
Basically, he asked me because he was my friend to do it.
Someone's going to need to explain to me what the racket is, because people don't just do that. They don't wake up saying, oh, I got an idea. Let's cancel each other out today. Let's just send each other a bunch of money. There has to be an advantage for you or for him. What is it?
No, there was no advantage.
Okay, great. Mr. Snell, you were helping him. Helping him why?
Because he said he was broke and he needed me to send the money back. I don't know what he did from
Okay, if he's broke, how is he going to pay you through PayPal?
That's what I don't understand, Your Honor.
Well, then maybe you shouldn't be sending the money. Maybe you are not a high finance person. Mr. Snell, what's the racket?
I do heating, air conditioning, and refrigeration. A customer had paid me via PayPal, and I asked, can I transaction her the money so that way I can override the 72-hour wait time to deposit it into my account.
All right. So on a personal transaction, if you get money, you actually get the money that day and you don't have a 72-hour waiting period. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So you said to her, send me this money and I'll send you the money right back because I need the money right now. I can't wait 72 hours.
Yes, ma'am.
And did you send the money right back?
I sent it to her and she sent it back to me.
Okay.
So I can withdraw it that day.
Right. But what you didn't realize or you didn't tell her is that there's a $15 charge for her to send you money, right?
No, there was no $15 fee for her to send me money.
Okay. Now, according to you, Ms. Welch, there was actually a $15 fee for you to send him money. So did you provide the proof of that in your PayPal account? Let's look at it.
It actually, Your Honor, charged me both ways. It charged for $15 for him to send it to me and then $15 to go back.
Okay. So the first thing that happens is on March 11th, Mr. Snell sends you $150 and you send him $150 back. But what happens is that $15 is taken either one way, in one direction or the other, the $15 taken. You say it's both ways, but...
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, why wouldn't I see $165 there instead? Or a $15 separate charge?
If you go to the actual amount and you calculate it, it shows $15 out and then $15 back. That's where the $430 came in play.
I know what you want me to do, so I'm wondering why it's not right there. So there's two transactions with him, right? He then sends you, he tells you, how about $250? Will you do $250 with me today? Don't you like smell that that something could possibly go wrong?
I didn't think that he would do a thing like that.
No, but just something could go wrong, whether it's through him or through PayPal or through some way.
I know. That's why I honestly never use PayPal. I use like Cash App and things like that, but never PayPal.
Right. So why would you do it now? Because you were just being a nice person and he was in a time of need? How'd that work out?
Not so good.
There's two transactions, the one for $250 and the one for $150. They end up costing you, according to you, and I'm going to look at it and calculate it, $15 each way. And worse than that, what happened, Ms. Welch?
Now I have no friend. Oh, now I have no friend.
Yeah, now you have no friend. But why do you have no friend? What ended up happening?
Oh, they negatived me the money because it was apparently I didn't pay it. I don't know how, but.
Well, they said that there was a problem with the account, correct? What was the problem with the account, Mr. Snell?
When my PayPal got broken into via my iPad getting stolen, the guy transferred a bunch of money. So what I did was contact PayPal and my credit card, and they flagged all my transactions.
Why don't you just flag the ones that are fraudulent? Why would you make the people who you owe money to not get their money? They flag what you tell them to flag. I saw what happened on your PayPal account. It's like $2,000 and $7,000. It was a lot of money. So those were fraudulent, and that's fine. I presume you had a police report for the theft, for the burglary of your car and the missing iPad and everything. So what happens is your 2 interest-free loans that you were finagling with this quicksand that you let yourself get into, got out of her account, and then PayPal hasn't given it back to her. And so when somebody else sent her $122, that went to pay the negative of your $265 and your $150. So she's still negative $308, but she's out actually $497. So how is it fair that the person who was helping you to buy groceries is out that money? You work, why don't you pay her the money and then figure it out in your own sweet time? Why don't you just pay her the money you owe her and then you clear it up with PayPal?
I gave her some money out of cash out of my pocket, and then unfortunately, I gave her like $60 the one day, and then unfortunately, I'd been in the hospital. I had severe staph infection, and I just got done with my surgeries, and I just got out the hospital Friday.
Okay, and do you know that to be true, what he just said, Ms. Welch, or you don't know?
He did in turn give me $55 in cash, but no, I did not know he was hospitalized. But
all right, so let's just look at your account. See, here's the thing I don't see. I don't see that you're charged $15 on the way in and on the way out. See, you're owed...
No, I was charged $15 for sending it.
Right. It's not you taking it, coming and going, Ms. Welsh. That's not how it works. What you sent to him is $250 and $150. Those are the 2 amounts that you sent to him. And then you haven't been paid for that, right?
Correct.
So if you're paid back the $250 and the $150, that's what you are out. That's $400. Do you understand that? So if he pays it to you out of his pocket, minus the $55, of course, he's already paid you. If he pays it to you out of his pocket, you're made whole, because anything that PayPal did going back and forth, there's one on this side and one on this side, and they cancel each other out, right?
Yeah, I just
don't get confused about the math. Don't get confused about the math. Sure. The bottom line is you sent $250 to him and you sent $150 to him, and you got nothing, because whatever PayPal did all got canceled out. So you're owed the $400 minus the $55 he's already paid you. So what you're owed is a $345. All right. So I am ordering him to pay you the $345. And here is my advice to you, Ms. Welsh. I don't care how close you are to somebody. Just don't get involved in quicksand. Someone else's quicksand is not don't step into it. Don't step into it.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. $345 plus, of course, your court costs that you had to file in order to file this case, and prejudgment statutory interest for the last 2 months that it's been owed to you. That's my verdict.
Thank you.
Mr. Snell, you understand what the judge's decision is and how you feel about it?
Fair is fair. Unfortunately, I was hospitalized for a while, so...
Yeah, all right. Do you think you'll go to her for a favor like this again in the future, or figure it out some other way?
No, it's not worth the hassle.
All right. Ms. Welch, are you satisfied? The judge explained it to you carefully enough?
Yes.
And as she said, you'll stay out of the quicksand the next time, right? You're not going to do this
Definitely.
again, right? Good lesson learned. All right. Thank you very much. All right. Harvey?
Doug, this is a good example of your problems are not my problems. It may be that the defendant's PayPal account got hacked, but that doesn't excuse the defendant from paying what is owed to the plaintiff, period.
This show has talked about leash laws for dogs. What about cats? My cat roams around and uses the bathroom in the neighbors' yards. Is this a big deal? Could somebody sue me?
Cats are pretty indiscriminate about where they go to the bathroom, I guess, when they're outside. And my experience with cats is they don't take to the leash very well. It's just not something that they get along with very well. But some cities actually have cat leash
Isn't
laws.
that crazy?
Yeah.
Because there actually are cities that say, hey, if your cat is outside, your cat has to be on a leash. A cat.
Right. Or they say pet, and some
right.
of them say specifically the pet includes dogs, cats, ferrets, monkeys,
squirrels,
whatever you
right.
have. Right, you got to have them leashed. And I think a couple of big cities that come to mind would be like St. Louis, I think, and Dallas both require that, and a lot of smaller
wild.
cities. Look, I had adopted a cat from a shelter, and I also brought in some foundlings. I found some kittens in an abandoned building in Coconut Grove, and I managed to get them all adopted out. But I got to say, I can't imagine putting them on a leash. Anyway.
No, but the bottom line is, get online and figure out if your city is one of those cities,
right.
and if it is, it's an indoor cat.
Right, they tend to multiply.
Yeah, they tend to multiply.